Good morning. All right. All right. Give me 1 second. Getting ourselves all set. How's everybody's day going? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. All right. Alrighty, alrighty. All right. Let's see. Everything all set? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. All right, all right. Yeah, exactly. How's everybody's day going? Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. I'm sorry. I had to look. I had to look. I'm like, is it Wednesday or Thursday? I'm like,
This is Thursday.
it felt like a Wednesday for some reason. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you just have those days like it's like, it's Thursday, but it feels like Wednesday. Oh, oops. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be like that sometimes. Yeah, it'd be like that. I'm like, is it? Is it? I'm sitting there like, is it Wednesday? Nah, it's not Wednesday. It's Thursday.
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday, and I hope you guys have an even better Friday. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and then an even better Monday. That's what I hope for you. You know what I mean? So, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys are doing well. We're just getting ourselves all set,
Yes.
getting the announcements out. You know how we do. All right. Getting ourselves all set. Get the announcements all set up here. Getting them all put out. All right. All right. Okay. Um. Let's see here. Alrighty, alrighty. All on. Getting ourselves all ready to go on X.com. Make sure that the announcements are up for that. All right. Okay. There we go. All right. But yes, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, and I hope you guys have an even better tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeesh.
Yes.
Yeesh. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Make some money.
Yeah.
Be greenable.
Be green.
Yeah, be greenable.
Green.
We like the greenableness.
Greenableness.
It be like that. I do enjoy being greenable.
Be green.
I love it. All right. Let's copy this. All right. Make sure that everything's all set on X.com. Yes, it is. Twitch. Make sure we're live on the Twitch properly.
Right.
Yes. All right. Let's see here. All right. Yeesh. All right. All right. Get. Hey, DBL Moms, can you do me a favor? Can you grab me some water
Mm-hmm.
real quick while I set up the stream to make sure everything's working copacetic? Good on Twitch. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. All right. Make sure everything's working. Good, good. Make sure everything's posted on X, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Threads. Let's make sure. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. All right. All right. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Facebook just doing Facebook things. You know how it is, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah. All right. Thank you, DVL Moms.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you kindly. Okay. Okay. Make sure that that's good. All right. Get ourselves posted over here. Have everything nice. Okay. All right. All right, let's get this intro done then.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, we are all set. What's up, guys? It's Double Nicks, and welcome to another episode of Microcap Mornings. I am your host with the most. They call me DBL Nicks in the house, aka the Rainmaker. And I'm here with the Serengeti specialist, the one who's wiggling her bushy tail, hiding in the tall weeds, the high trees, the low seas, hitting them high knees. Sometimes she's on a jet ski, sometimes she's on regular skis. Sometimes they fire her out the cannon and she goes whee! With 2 cups of coffee, potentially Cafe Bustelo, we know. All right. We call her DBL Moms.
Hey!
Yes. We call her DBL Moms. Say hello to the people.
Hello to the people.
Hello to the people.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be looking into some stonks for today. But before we get into that, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share.
Share.
Because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you want access to our private Discord, the link to join is in the description down below, so be sure to check that out. Get a 4-day trial for our real-time alerts and scanners for $1.99 for the first 4 days. We pick a lot of baggers a lot of times. We are just made different, folks. And the early bird gets the cash, the moolah, the loot, the cashola, the big bucks, I tell you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a couple of baggers here. We got SAG. We called SAG prior to its 114% run. It's 114% run. All right. Excuse me. All right. And then we called its We called AGMH prior to its run up 47%. 47%. All right. We called EYEN. We called that one prior to its 43% run. OPTN prior to its 61% run. WINT 43%. And IMG, which we actually did a video about yesterday. You can check that out.
Yes.
Prior to its 42% run so far. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, just made different. Just made different. And the early bird gets the cash. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, like I said before, we made a video on IMG yesterday. So, be sure to check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to check that out. We made that yesterday. Pretty nice little thingy. Pretty nifty, if I may say so myself. It was a little something, something, you know. A little something, something for everybody. A little something, something. Hold on one second. Let me just get these pinned comments over here.
Yes.
All right. Boom. There we go. Get that set up. All right. And, of course, boom, over here. My old nemesis, the headset. Oh, nah, it happens.
Allie.
It happens.
Okay, good.
It happens.
Yeah, we're good.
Headset's always on the fritz.
Right.
It be like that sometimes. It be like that, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, now I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Hold on, let's get this over here. Make this a pinned comment. Bop, over there. All right, let's get some water. A little bit of water in the system. A little bit of water, you know how it goes. All right. That's that stuff right there. All right.
Yes.
So,
Good morning.
good morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right, WINT. Let's check out WINT because that one just recently came up.
Yes.
That one just recently came up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into this.
Right.
All right, let's zoom in the room over here. WINT looks like it's been having some choppy price action, very choppy. Had a low of $1.62, high of $2.50. Had a major price spike going up, and now it looks like it's moving downward a little bit. So let's zoom. All right, so let's get some support and resistance lines up. Let's get some support and resistance lines up here. Boom, 162 being the major resistance, and $2 actually being the major support, and $2.50 being the major resistance. Let's zoom in the room over here. Boom. All right, currently this stock is below the VWAP, so that's not a good sign right there. Not something that I like. All right, let's check out the stock market over here. All right, we got some support at 167, got more support at 174, got more support at 221, got resistance here at 231, more resistance at 240, and then you got 250 obviously. So you got all that going on, right? So we got over here, zoom in the room. Let me get the graffiti pencil activated for this stock. This stock is currently up 33%, WINT. They're also called Windtree Therapeutics Inc. All right, ticker symbol WINT. Windtree actually had some news that they announced a license and supply agreement to become a sourcing partner for a small biotech with an FDA-approved product.
Yes.
So let's check that out. Let's go over here, and I can tell right off the bat, this probably just gained quite a bit of volume. So let's check out the float. The float is pretty low at 179.4K, which explains the very volatile price action from going to little to no movement on the candles to absolute price spikes, right? And then you got a volume of 10.17 million, which is good. I like that. The volume is higher than the float, but the float is very low. So again, you know, got to keep an eye on this one. And I don't trust this one really because it's very low on the float, which means it's very much so sporadic with its price action. It could go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, which is a lot of stocks, but this one just goes up and down sporadically and randomly to the point where it's like, you know, you got to be really careful with it, in my opinion. Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, by the way, these are just my opinions. This is not stock or financial advice. This is just a show. Hey! Always do your own due diligence before purchasing anything in the stock market at all whatsoever. This is just a show. All right. So We are also below the VWAP on this stonk right here. This stonk is below the VWAP, but it does have good volume. The float is pretty low though, so again, kind of sporadic. Let me get the graffiti pencil over here. It's also overbought on the RSI, so you got that going on. So it's going to probably try to move down. It's just got to hold over here at this 221 resistance line, break through the 231. After that, break through 240 and then 250, and then it could be schmexy to me. But it has to do that. Right now, it's forming a bit of a miniature channel over here. A little bit of channel time. Channel time. It's channel time. Right, DVL Moms?
Right.
DVL Moms.
Yes.
Channel time.
Channel time.
Yes.
Channel time.
Yes.
Channel time.
Yes. There we go. Channel time. All right. So it's got a bit of a channel forming over here. It's got a breakthrough 231, breakthrough 240, and then breakthrough 250 for it to even be remotely schmexy to me, at least in my opinion. Again, not stock advice. So we're going to do that. Let's check this out over here. Let's check this out. Bop. Get the graffiti pencil. It had a major price spike all the way from 172 all the way up to 250, and then proceeded to move its way downward a little bit, and now it's just sticking to the channel right now. On some channel time. Yes. So it's got a bit of a pennant forming over here. Yeah. It's got to break through this pennant as well for it to be remotely schmexy to me. Otherwise, it's right? It's got to break through this channel. It's got to break through that 231. Right now, it's got to break through that VWAP. It's below the VWAP. Got to break through it, and it's got to break through the resistance here at 231, break through 240, and then 250, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. There we go. That's pretty much how it works in my opinion. Yes. All right. So let's move on. Let's move on. Yes. KBSX. Let's check out KBSX. I could tell right off the bat. This one's probably gonna be. Let's check this one out. Yep, I can tell right off the bat. Low volume. Let's zoom in the room. All right. Before we do that though, let's get the absolute support and absolute resistance. We got absolute support line over here. Boom. Absolute resistance over boom. All right, let's see here. All right, let's get you got resistance at 142. Got some more resistance over at 242, 245, 318, 359. Got a little bit of 350 as well. 372, 382, 391, 425 over there. All right, 396. All right, 448. Those are resistance points right here. All right, you got 481. Got another one all the way over here at 554. And then 588.
Right.
All right. And then you got another one over here at 567. Let's zoom in the room over here. All right, yep, could tell right off the bat this is going to have some low float just by looking at these indecisive candles over here, these indecisive wicks. It's also below the VWAP, so not overbought or oversold in the RSI either. It's very choppy. All this choppy price action, so not liking this one too much. KBSX currently up 0.25%. No news on it at all, so I could tell right off the bat, nah. The float is reasonable at 5.53 million, but the volume is 52,000. So again, not schmexy at all. There's your price actions, your support and resistance for it. But other than that, wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole, in my opinion. I wouldn't touch this. So, no. Me personally, I wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. But all right, let's move on. Let's see what else we got. We got SAG. We called SAG prior to its 114% run. SAG. Yes. All right, let's zoom in the room here. All right, SAG, get the absolute low and absolute high. So you got, boom, 55 cents being the absolute support. And you got 159 being the absolute resistance. All right. tell right off the bat this stock's got some good volume just by looking at it. Didn't start off that way, but it it started shooting up and getting more volume. So I like that. I like that, but it is below the VWAP though. It is below the VWAP now, but it did have a nice run up 114%. Nice movement there.
Right.
So let's get some support and resistance over here. Let's zoom in the room. Okay. All right. First things first. Boom. Get some support lines over here at 66 cents. Get another one over here at 75. Another one over here at 81 cents. Another one over here at 92 cents. Another one over here at 94 cents. Another one all the way over here at $1.01. $1.05. $1.07. $1.11. All right. Then you got resistance lines over here at $1.21. $1.27. $1.36. And $1.46. And then obviously $1.59. So let's zoom in the room some more. Boom. Let's get ourselves set over here. Right. Headset. Wake up, headset. You ain't done yet. You ain't done yet. Nah. I didn't say you could be done. Nah. All right, come here. All right, let's get up. Looks like it's forming a bit of a triple top here. A little bit. It has to break through here. Has to break through this little line for it to even be remotely schmexy to me right now. All right, but of course, ladies and gentlemen, it is below the VWAP right now. Again, had a nice run. Now it just looks like it's moving downward a little bit. So it has to break through this triple top over here for it to be schmexy to me. Has to break through it, ladies and gentlemen. Has to break through it. It has to break through that $1.17, and it looks like it's trying to. It looks like it's trying to. It looks like it's trying to curl up a little bit. Because it did have a bit of a descending wedge formed right over here. Just by looking at it, I could tell. All right, then you got to curl up right here. Boom. All right, had a little bit of made like a small itty bitty ABCD, little tiny one, right? Moved back down, had like a little bit of a pennant moment right here, and then just started curling all the way up here. All right, hit this little line over here, and now it's just got to break through this little miniature line and it's got to break up right now. It's trying to, but it's trying to fight its way up here. It's got to break through this $1.21 resistance over here, and then break through 127, and has to hold over here at this $1.11 support line for it to be remotely schmexy to me. But other than that, we're gonna see what happens with the stunk. We'll see what happens with it. It has no news. All right, but it does have a reasonable float at 1.32 million. Volume is 19 million. So the volume is excellent on the stock. Yeah. The float is reasonable, pretty good. All right. So right now, all it's really got to do is just curl, baby, curl. That's all it's got to do. Right? It's got to break through this 121 over here, 127, and it has to break through the other resistance lines for it to be schmexy to me. All right. Has to prove its love to me. 121, 127, and then after that has to break through the 136 resistance, and then the 146, and then after that it's got to break the 159 for it to be remotely schmexy to me. It looks like it's trying to curl up past the VWAP. It looks like it's trying to break through the VWAP over there. So we'll see what happens. Again, it's getting a little indecisive on it, but it's trying to curl. It is trying to curl, it looks like. So we'll see what goes down. We shall see. We shall see. Watch me turn my back, and this stunk probably gonna move. That's normally what happens with these stonks. You know that, right?
Right.
You know that, right, DVO moms?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
All the time.
Oh yeah. So it's gonna be doing that. Right. Right now it is on a bit of a choppy uptrend, but it is moving. It is moving. It looks like it's trying to test that new high. It looks like it's trying to test the new high, trying to smack that bottom all the way at 121. It looks like it's trying to smack it. It's trying to smack it there. It's just testing that resistance, trying to smack that bottom like his name was Akon. So we'll see what happens with the stonk. We shall see what happens with the stonk.
Right.
Got it curl? Maybe. It looks like it's trying to curl. It looks like it's trying to curl off the pennant over here. So, it'd be like that sometimes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
It is past VWAP.
It is past VWAP. It just broke through the VWAP.
Yeah.
It's just smacking that bottom now.
Smack.
It's smacking that bottom at 121.
Mhm.
You just gotta keep going. It just has to. Has to keep going for it to be schmexy to me.
Yeah.
It's forming a bit of a top tail though, so I don't like the top tails, DBL moms. I like the
the
bottom tails. The
tails.
bottom tails. But we'll see what happens. We shall see. All right. Let's check out another stonk. Okay, OPTN. Okay, let's check out OPTN.
Let's check it out.
All right, let's check out OPTN.
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 OPTN. All right. All right. Lot of candles of indecisiveness here. I could tell right off the bat this one is definitely low float. I mean, not low float, low volume.
Yeah.
All right. I could tell this one is low volume. Okay, I could just tell. Major gap over here. Major gap on the RSI here. All right. This one, all right. The VWAP is it's below the VWAP. All right. It was overbought on the RSI. Earlier it was overbought on the RSI over here. Now it's neither overbought nor oversold, but it was overbought earlier. So it's got that going on. It does have some news that the Ademi firm investigates whether Optinos Inc., which is OPTN's name, is obtaining a fair price for its public shareholders. So right now it's being investigated by a firm, which is not good news.
No.
All right. So then you also have the U.S. company earnings that came out today, as well as the fact that they climbed after a take-private deal with Paratech Pharma. So they got that going on.
Yeah.
Their float is reasonable at 8.29 million, but the volume is 415,000, ladies and gentlemen. So not liking that too much, me personally. All right. Low, very, very. The float is okay. The volume is just really, really low. And to top it off, it was overbought on the RSI before. It's not overbought now, but it is below the VWAP over here, and it does have a lot of gappy price action over here. Not something that I think is very schmexy. So we'll see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see what happens with the stock, but I'm not loving it. I'm not loving it. Me personally, I'm not loving it. We'll get some support and resistance lines here. Got absolute resistance over here at 986, and then absolute support at the 533 mark. Let's get some support and resistance lines. So you got some support at 544. Got more support at 573. Got a little bit more at the 615 mark. All right. And then it pretty much gapped up. So you got 703. Then you got, let's zoom in the room over here. All right. And let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. You got support at 927 and 940. But then you got resistance here at 950 as well as 970. And then, of course, 978. So you got all that going on right there. All right, and then, of course, 986. So you got all that going on right there. Let's zoom in the room a little bit more. All right, and yeah, you could tell there's not a lot of movement here. There is not a lot of movement, but that's the support. That's the resistance. Again, it was overbought on the RSI earlier, so not liking that too much. It's trying to fight to stay above the VWAP right now. Again, All right, it's up 58%, but doesn't have a lot of good news. Doesn't have a lot of good news going on with it. The volume is very low. Float is reasonable, but the volume is low. So you got that going on, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
Hold on one second. All right, there we go. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much that for that stonk. Let's check out something else here. Let's check out something else. Let's check out. Let's see. GCTK. Let's check that out.
That's pretty new.
Let's check out GCTK because that one popped up a little bit. All right, GCTK. Ooh, okay. Looking at this one. All right, I could tell this. They're actually no. You know what? I think this one has some volume to it.
Yeah.
I think this one has some volume to it.
Bit.
All right. I haven't looked at the volume yet, but let me see. All right, float for GCTK is 272,000. Volume is 9.69 million. Okay, so the float is a little low again, which means to me potentially sporadic price action in my opinion. But the volume is 9.69 million.
Right.
All right, 9.69 million, which is good. That's good. I like that the volume is higher than the float. All right, but again, a little concerned that the float is a little low. That's my only concern with this stock. All right. Other than that, it did have nice price action moving upward. But let's check this out over here. Let's check this out over here, right here. 32 cents. That is the absolute support. 50.549 is the absolute resistance over here. Let's zoom in the room. All right. Boom. Get ourselves all set there. All right. So we got a couple of lines over here. You got some support at 35 cents. All right. Got a little bit more support over here at 37. All right. A little bit more at 38. All right. 39 over here. All right. Some more over here. And then you got 42. All right. And then you got resistance at 49. All right, some more at 51. All right, and then you got more at 53, and then you got more at 54. So all right, we're back. Yeah, more resistance here at the 49-cent mark over here, 51, then you got 53 and 54. So it's got to break through that, but right now it looks like it's moving downward, and I'm not liking that too much. Let's get the graffiti pencil activated. Let's get the graffiti pencil activated. All right. All right. It moved up, had a very nice uptrend. Let's zoom in the room a little bit more. All right. But then it started forming a bit of a pennant, and it looks like it's moving down off of said pennant right now. So not very schmexy to me. This one, not liking it too much right now. All right. They have some news that came out yesterday that they had implantable hidden continuous glucose monitoring that could revolutionize diabetes care. That is the news that they got. The volume for this stock is 11 million. Float is 272,000. Again, because the float is low, in my opinion, it's going to have quite a bit of sporadic price action. Plus, it has a bit of a double top over here. If you look closely, see this? Boom, boom. It has to break through that resistance line over there for it to be schmexy, because it's got a double top over here. Not liking that too much, ladies and gentlemen. Not liking that. All right, let's check out another stonk. Let's see what else. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? All right. Let's see. Let's see. Nah, that one's got too high of a float. IMG. Let's check out IMG. IMG. We did a video on IMG last night. On it prior to it running up 42%. So let's check and see what they're doing right now, how it's doing. Let's see. All right. IMG currently, this stunk, right, has a low of 0.4301, right, and a high of 0.7376. All right, boom, over here, absolute high, absolute low, boom. That's what it's got going on. All right, then let's see over here. All right, it's got resistance at the 43-cent mark, or support at the 43-cent mark. It's got more support at 44. All right, 48. All right. Boom, right over there. 55, 56, 59. All right, and then you got resistance here at 61, 63, 66. All right. More over here. All right, and then you got more over yeah at 69. Nice. And then you got some more over here at 63. So that's what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we got going on. All right. All right, let's get that one over there. And yeah, we're all set. Okay. Now zoom in the room. Zoom in the room. Okay. So this stonk right here had a nice little move upward. IMG had a nice move upward. It did have some news of some insider buying that came out yesterday. Float was pretty reasonable at 1.9 million. Volume is now 11.52 million. So I like the volume is higher than the float. I'm liking that. Let's see what we got going on here. Let's get the graffiti pencil activated. Let's get an overview over here. Let's see what we got. All right, so it had a little bit of an A to B, B to C, C to D, all the way up here. Then had another one, another tiny one, boom, all the way up to here, before making a little descending wedge over here, boom, and then curling its way upward on a choppy little uptrend over here. All right. Boom, right there. And then proceeded to just form another wedge. We'll see what happens with this wedge. Looks like it's trying to curl off this wedge. It's got to hold this support over here at 59 cents. And then it's got to break through at 61 for it to be schmexy to me. But right now it's forming a bit of a channel, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of a channel. So let me get the channel. Let me get the channel time. It's channel time, DVO moms. Channel time. Channel time. It's channel time. There we go. Yeah. So that's what we got going on. Channel time. All right, so we got that. Yeah, channel time right now. Right now. Right now. So that's what we got going on. That's what we got going on. This stonk currently is 60 cents. All right, currently up 43%.
Yep.
IMG. Actually, no, never mind. This stonk is 25 cents. Excuse me, 25%. But right now, it did hit a nice high at 42. So we'll see what happens with this stock. But right now, it looks like it's trying to fight. It's below the VWAP. It is below the VWAP right now. So that's one thing that has got going against it. But it did have a nice run upward. Nice little run upward. Then went down, curled up, went down again, formed a bit of a wedge. Now it's trying to curl back up again. We'll see what happens with this stock. We shall see what happens with this stock. But right now, the VWAP is currently all the way up here. And the price is all the way down here, so it has to break through that VWAP as well. So it has to break through the 62-cent channel over here. Then it has to break through the 63-cent resistance line, as well as break through that VWAP at 62 cents as well, for it to be schmexy to me. Yes, to me. Again, the float for the stunk is reasonable, 1.9 million. Volume is 11.58 million. So again, that's what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. Not overbought or oversold on the RSI. We made a video on this stunk last night, so we'll see what happens with it. We shall see what happens with it, ladies and gentlemen. Had a nice 42% run up, but again, we'll see what happens. We shall see. We shall see.
Yes.
All right. We called quite a few baggers, man. We called quite a few baggers this past week. Right? Quite a few. Right? I mean, we called quite a few. We called SAG, and it went up to 114. All right. And then yesterday we called XHLD. Right. We called BOWN and LSE. All right. XHLD, I'm pretty sure ran up. XHLD ran up as high as ooh, we gotta see. Let me see. Come on. 188. XHLD ran up 188. I know we had a 200% bagger yesterday.
Actually, no, it went higher than that.
It did?
It sure did.
Oh, yeah, it did. It went up to
After hours.
240%. Excuse me. Excuse me. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen.
Pardon-moi.
Pardonnez-moi. All right?
It was sneaky.
It was sneaky. Yeah, XHLD went up to 240%.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, my mistake, ladies and gentlemen. I thought it was 188. Nah,
that was done.
Nah. It said 240.
Yes.
All right. I'm just checking the records. I just saw the part that said 188. Nope. 240. 240, ladies and gentlemen. 240. All right. Let's see. What other ones did we call? What other ones did we call yesterday? Yeah, yesterday we called quite a few. We called quite a few over
They
here.
come like this.
We called quite a few.
We got here.
All right, all right. Let's see. What else do we call, man? Because I mean, we called XHLD. We called that. All right.
Wait, let's see. That one was the biggest one here.
Yeah, that one was the biggest one. So then we called LSE, which was our first bagger that day yesterday. That ran up 113%, and BOWN, which went up 104%. Ladies and gentlemen, yes sir, yes sir. All right, that's what we had going on, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we had going on.
Yeah.
Oh, Yusuf, we look at the we look at the float in different sources primarily.
Yes.
No, yeah, we pretty much just go on the internet and look up the float. We have a float website that we look at for the floats. So that's what we got going on. All right, let's see what else we got.
Cool.
But yes, we called, and then prior to that, the day before on the 18th, we called 5 baggers, I believe.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. We called 5. Count them, 5 baggers. 5 baggers. Let's see here. Which baggers did we call? All right. Yeah. Let's see. Which ones do we call over here? All right. Let's see. We called quite a few baggers this past week, DBL moms.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
I mean, we called LSE. We called a couple of other ones. We called KBSX. We called ADTX, INDP, SYRF. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
And we're back.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. We called quite a few baggers, ladies and gentlemen. We called those. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's check out KBSX, because KBSX just came in.
Yeah.
Let's check it again. But I don't remember myself liking the stunk much.
No.
But it did have a chop. It moved up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, but then it went back down and formed a bit of a chop tail. I could tell just by looking at this over here. Yep, see that? Massive price spike.
Wow.
Hit the $5 mark, but then
Wow.
the bottom tail. And I could tell, if I remember correctly, with KBSX, low volume, the float was reasonable at 5.53, but again, 487,000 float. So,
And just on Tuesday, that was one of the bigger.
oh
big
yes.
ones that we done. That was the biggest one on Tuesday that we called.
Oh yes, KBSX on Tuesday we called KBSX prior to its 333% run.
Yeah.
All right.
It was crazy.
So it had a good run.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Now it's like, well, you know, again, that was days ago though, ladies and gentlemen. So boom, right over here, has a bit of a double top going on though. We don't like the double tops, ladies and gentlemen. We like the double bottoms.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, yes we do. Yes we do.
Our bottom tails.
We like the bottom tails, ladies and gentlemen. The bottom tails. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So that's what we got going on over here. Oops, excuse me. All right. And let's check out ELAB. ELAB. And we'll check out. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, let's check out WINT. Yeah, WINT. WINT is moving up. Remember, I said it had a bit of a pennant over here. Let's zoom in the room. It looks like it's curling up off that pennant.
Yeah.
Hit a nice new high while I wasn't looking, WINT. Well. How the turntables.
Yes.
See? Told it. Pennant. Indecisive. Has to break through the channel. It did. Broke through the channel and the VWAP. Broke through the channel and the VWAP. Nice movement upward over here. Boom.
Yeah.
Hit a nice high of 265. Although now it's forming a bit of a top tail though. I don't like the top tails.
No, we like
We like the bottom tails. Alright. But yes. They did, again, they struck a deal to source PHE XXI.
Yes. Okay.
Signaling revenue driven pivot.
Yeah,
So that's what they got going on.
Yeah.
And they announced an agreement to become a sourcing partner for EvoFem. and which is a small biotech with an FDA approved product.
Yes.
Again, the float for this stunk is 179.4 thousand. Volume is 15.85 million, ladies and gentlemen. So I like the volume. I do like the volume. I like the volume a lot.
Yep.
Again, we gotta see what happens.
Let's see
The
what
float
happens.
again. The float is pretty low. Float is pretty low for the stunk.
It is low.
The float is pretty low.
We'll see.
So it gets a little bit sporadic when the float is low. A little bit sporadic.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Let's see what else is on the hit parade.
Yeah. So that's what we got going on. That's what we got.
Let's see.
All right. Let's see. Let's check out. You got WINT doing this thing over there. Right now, it looks like it's trying to curl up. Hold on. Let me get another resistance line over here.
Oh, yeah.
Another resistance line over here
Good.
at 265. Boom. Right there. It's got to break through that 265. Hold that 250 for it to be schmexy over here.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we got going on.
Yeah.
All right. So that's what we got. Yeah. All right.
Let's see.
But this stock has a 179.4K float. Volume is 16.02 million now. So that's what we got. Yeah.
Keep an eye on that one.
Yep. So we got that going on over here. All right. Again, looks like it's still moving. It is moving. It just hit 269.
Yes.
$2.69, ladies and gentlemen. $2.69. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. And let's see. Actually, let me get rid of this little line over here. Make a new one. Boom. Over here. That's the new resistance for it. So, again, has to hold 250. Break through 269. And it looks like it's trying to create higher highs. So, I like that. I like that, ladies and gentlemen. I do like that a lot. Like that a lot, ladies and gents.
Yes.
So, that's what we got going on. That's what we got going on. All right. Again, float for the stunk is 170.4K. And the volume is 16.48 million. 16.48 million.
Yes.
So that's what we got going on here. Again, love the volume. Volume's a lot higher than the float, but the float is pretty low.
Yep.
That's my only concern. And it's getting a little bit overbought on the RSI, a little bit overbought on the RSI. So you got that going on as well. So you got to keep an eye on that, ladies and gentlemen. You got to keep an eye on that. But it looks like it's moving upward right now. WINT hit 269. Nice. So now it looks like it's trying to go back up and smack that resistance. Looks like it's trying to smack that resistance again. Test it. You know, it looks like it could potentially test it and break through. Maybe. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Could it get to 270? Could it get to 271? Let's see. Let's see what happens. Right? Currently, it's moving upward, though. It looks like it's doing its thing. It is doing its thing right now. Hit 270. There we go. Nice 270.
So slowly.
Yeah, slowly I turn. Inch by... I looked away from the screen for like 5 seconds, and it hits 270. All right, let me try looking away from the screen again, see what happened. Let me see what happened. Let me look away. Slowly I turn, WINT. Slowly I turn. Inch by inch, step by step.
Yep.
Come on. Do your thing.
It's sneaky.
It's very sneaky.
It gets sneaky.
It's sneaky.
Yes.
That's what it's doing, man. It hit that 270 and then proceeded to just do its thing. All right. Now I got to move this a little bit more up. Let me remove that. Move this a little bit more up. Now, I'm a little concerned about one thing, though, because this new candle just came up here.
Ow.
So I'm a little concerned about one little thing. It's just got to break through this little line over here because it's forming a bit of a double top. I don't like the double tops. I like the double bottoms. So, let's see. Let's see. But even more than double bottoms, I like bottom tails. Bottom tails. Yeah. All right. It's a little dry.
Bottom tail song. What's that whistle for the bottom tail song?
Bottom tails. I like the bottom tails, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Right now, this stunk is currently, it has to break through that double top for it to be schmexy to me. Has to break through it, ladies and gentlemen, for it to be schmexy.
Yeah.
For it to prove its love to me.
Really?
It has to hold that 250 mark too. Has to hold that 250 support and break through that 270 resistance for it to be schmexy. But right now, it's 262. So we'll see what happens with this one.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Tell you.
Oh, yeah.
But they're very
little
sneaky. When you
bit.
take your eyes off them,
Oh, yeah, they're very
They just
sneaky.
Sneak up.
Sneak around. Yes. That's what they do, man.
Sneaking around. There's some sneaky
Yeah,
stuff.
sneaky. I tell you what, it's very sneaky.
Sneaky witchy stuff.
Yeah, very sneaky.
right.
Sneaky breaky. Yes. All right. Let's see. What else we got?
See now, what else we got going on here?
Yeesh. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, so what you got? What you guys got planned for the day? How you guys doing? What does everybody have planned for the day? All right. Oh, looks like it's curling up. Looks like it's testing the high.
There we go.
High test is hitting 270 again. It's smacking 270.
It's doing it.
It's tickling that bottom. It's smacking that bottom like his name was Akon. Let's go. Yeah. There we go. Come on, baby.
Tickle.
Here comes the pickle. 273. There we go.
Tickle.
Yep. 273.
Coochie coo.
Whoa there. Settle down.
I get carried away.
His man said, coochie coo. Oh, my Lord. Currently hit a nice new high of 273. Hit 273. It still got to break that 270. Still has to break that 270 mark again. Because it went up to 273, went back down. All right.
It saw us looking.
It saw. Yeah, you gotta sneak up on these stonks, man.
Yeah.
Gotta sneak up on them a little bit.
And buy a new pair of sneakers.
Yeah, buy a new pair of sneakers for sneaking.
Yep.
Yes. Right now it's hitting 270 again. It's hitting 270 again. Could it come back? Could it come back around, spin the block on it? Could it potentially do that? Maybe.
Maybe.
We shall see. Right now though. Come on, baby.
You can
Come
do
on.
it.
Joe talk about 3. That's no me, baby. Come on. Yes. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we got for today. Be sure to also like, comment, and subscribe, and share. Share, ladies and gentlemen. Share. Because sharing is caring.
Yes.
Share. Yes.
We would love it if you shared.
We would love it if you share.
Yeah.
Yes. Subscribe.
Subscribe to the YouTube.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Hit that
Yes.
notification.
yes. Got
this
all
way
that
you
good
don't
stuff.
have a business.
Yes. All right, ladies and gentlemen. But I think that's all the time we got for today. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as ring that bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. And remember to share. Because sharing is caring, ladies and gentlemen. You can find us on YouTube, where we put up a lot of informative videos on the stock market and you know, all that good stuff. We put up a lot of those videos at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money, we put up a lot of videos there, and we stream there, obviously. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe there, as well as ring the bell icon to stay notified when new videos are uploaded. All right. Obviously, check out our X.com, aka Twitter, where we do a lot of checking out the stock market and analysis on the stock market. Sometimes we even find little bits and pieces of news that could be important. So, you know, check that out as well. You can find us there at Coach Nick Money on X.com, aka Twitter. You can find us there at Coach Nick Money. Yes. You can find us on Twitch, where we do we also stream on X, but we also be streaming on Twitch. So you can find us there at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, where we do some. We talk about some, news and, things that pertain to the stock market there as well. We talk about all that good stuff. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Coach Nick Money. At Coach Nick Money. And you can find us on TikTok, Tiki Taki.
Yes.
You can find us there at DBL Nicks. At DBL Nicks. And the screen name is Coach Nick Money. Yes, sir. So you can find us there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's Double Nicks, aka the Rainmaker. Yes, sir. And, of course, the one, the only, the Serengeti specialist in her bushy tail, shaking her bushy tail. She's hiding in them high weeds and them tall trees, the low seas, hitting the high knees. Sometimes she's on the jet skis. Sometimes you shoot her out of a catapult. She goes wee. Sometimes she's got 2 cups of coffee. All right.
Yeah.
Looking to ensnarl all the stocks.
Sneaking
All right.
up on the stocks.
Looking to ensnarl them stocks for the indelible community.
Yeah.
Get it? The indelible community.
Uh-huh.
All right. We call her DV Moms.
Hey!
All right. And we are out of here. Say goodbye to the people, DB Moms.
Goodbye to the people.
Goodbye to the people. We hope you guys have a fantastic day. We hope all your dreams and aspirations come true. And yeah, we hope that you guys get all your dreams and aspirations come true. Make a lot of money. Be greenable today, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful day.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
see you on Friday. And hope you guys have an even better Friday. And then after that, have a beautiful weekend with your friends, your family, and everybody you love. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, ladies and gentlemen. We love you.
Sir.
We love you.